all seen the movies, commercials, news, ads, all of that, where the trafficker is a man. And that's the picture that we have. But did you know that 30 to 40% globally, traffickers that are convicted are women? That's right. They make up a large part of that workforce. Did you know that? Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Dr. Debbie Lassiter, the Executive Director and co-founder of the Convergence Resource Center. And I'm here with my colleagues.
Hi, I'm Carla McKeever, and I'm also co-founder of Convergence Resource Center and CFO. And as always, welcome back to the conversation.
Carla, this is a little intense one here, because most of the time when we think about human trafficking and the female's role or women's role is we see them as the recruiters or as the bottoms. And the bottom, as we know, is not the woman that the trafficker trusts the most. He's the one that the trafficker trusts the most to do what he says, which is different. The bottom will also be in charge of the other ladies and will punish them if they don't do things like meet their quota or do things they're supposed to do at certain times. But what's alarming is that often they are the trafficker. Isn't that something?
No one would have, at least I wouldn't have thought that, and even the way they depict them, at least growing up. But we know anyone could be a trafficker,
yeah.
Realistically. But the way that they're depicted and the way you always think of it as a man, that's just how we think of it. So when a woman, it's like, what? A woman? Like, really? How?
You want to share some of the statistical information with us?
Some of it, let me see. It says research shows that women comprise up to 1/3 of the perpetrators of human trafficking globally.
1/3.
1/3.
That's a lot.
Yes. It says female traffickers are 16% less likely to be arrested and prosecuted for crimes than their male counterparts.
That's right. Because now this concept, I believe it has changed a little bit, but I think it's still there. They don't like to see women come into court that have committed crimes. They want to see women there. They believe that women need to be at home taking care of those children and cleaning up that house and cooking that food. You shouldn't be out committing crimes. So for years, women received a harsher sentence for the exact same crime as a man, because in the judge's mind, you're not supposed to be here, right? But just think of this, that they're making up 16%. That means they're 16% less likely to be arrested or prosecuted because we just don't think that they're the one.
Right. It's like it's got to be someone behind
No,
you.
it's not her. It's not her.
Yeah.
For years, one of the most prolific traffickers in the Milwaukee area was a woman, and she was a paraplegic. That's right. She was in a wheelchair. My understanding was while she was in prison, there was an accident or something occurred where she ended up paralyzed.
Oh, okay.
And she became a trafficker. She had a lot of young men working for her. But yeah, she was on the north side of Milwaukee.
Wow.
But let's talk about one of our most recent, most prolific traffickers. And we're not doing this in any way to give glory to this person. We're doing this so that people can see and realize, don't overlook the women that may be traffickers. Because anybody can be trafficked, male or female.
Right.
So we have to keep in mind that female traffickers may be trafficking females, but they also may be trafficking males. Right?
Right.
So you want to talk a little bit about Pimpin' Amanda?
She was a Waukesha native. That's really just right down the street here. Charged with 10 counts of sex trafficking dating back nearly 2 decades.
Now, 2 decades, that's 20 years.
Yes.
2 decades she was running around. Yeah.
Colette Amanda Mahan, 39 years old, ring covered 12 states.
That's right.
Used fraud, force, and coercion and was also charged with sex trafficking of a child.
All right. So when we think about trafficking, when we think about the things that go on in trafficking, we never think a woman could be doing this. 20 years this woman was doing this. 12 states. And we tell you all the time, trafficking is not localized. You could be being trafficked in Georgia now, but tomorrow you might be getting trafficked in New York because that trafficker is taking you wherever. And I can remember when we were down on one of the Super Bowl events. And it's not the Super Bowl, it's the events around the Super Bowl. And this guy was arrested. He had been to every major sporting event in the states around him. And he was, but at that time, I think he was in Florida. And he was preparing to go to the next big sports event. So he said that's all he did was travel around to the sports events because that's where he could make the most money. So the United States attorney said that she was also known as Pimpin' Amanda or Amanda Chase. And she was 39 years old when they finally arrested her. 39 years old, right?
That's relatively young, but just think how long she'd been doing it, though.
Well, she was 39, and she'd been doing it for 2 decades. She was 19 years old.
Wow.
18 or 19 when she started.
That looks like, well, for me, that means right out of high school, or were you doing it in high school?
Probably.
Like, how did that even come to be?
So they said she started in at least 2004, maybe sooner, and continued till June of 2018 when she was arrested. She traveled and used facilities in interstate commerce to carry on an unlawful activity, specifically a business. Now, I hate it when they say this involving prostitution, because prostitution and human trafficking are 2 different things. People can choose to be in prostitution on their own because they get the benefit, though.
Right.
In human trafficking, you're not getting the benefit. The trafficker's getting the benefit.
Right.
Now, you want to talk about the 2 charges she had of trafficking, sex trafficking a child?
Was that, it says, wait a minute.
No, that's okay. She was sex trafficking a child. She had 2 charges for that. She transported that child to other states to engage in prostitution. Now, listen, these are some of the states. You want to talk about some of the states she was doing business in?
It was like Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota. That's right up that way. Minnesota, where the smoke is coming from. Nebraska, Nevada. She covered the whole United States almost. Missouri, Kentucky,
just
Indiana,
12 states.
Georgia, and Florida. But it was kind of, kind of in that circle.
Yeah, she was pretty rough. And I know that in talking to some of her victims, she wanted them to call her daddy. And this one woman refused to call her daddy. And she drugged this woman with her car for about 2 blocks. It's amazing the woman didn't die. But after that, I think she did call her daddy.
I believe I would. If somebody drugged me in a car, I mean,
I will call you daddy now.
Yeah, I mean, well, that force, it really does, it changes your mind because you don't want to feel that pain. You know, no one wants to get drugged. No one wants to get beat. No one wants to get hurt. So it is like making a mind adjustment.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, we make light of it, but it's an awful thing to experience, especially, you know, it's trauma.
Yeah. And our main goal again today is not to glorify these women, but to move that you know, we check that box in the back of our mind. Oh, she can't be a trafficker because the trafficker is a man. So we wanted you to just uncheck that box to realize that women can be traffickers. Just Lane Maxwell. You know, that name is almost a household name now.
Right.
But she was a trafficker. Okay, supplying young girls to Jeffrey Epstein. But what we also find out about the traffickers, they do a lot of the grooming They do a lot of the, like with Ghislaine, she did a lot to make those girls feel that it was going to be okay.
Right.
That was going to be comfortable, nothing bad was going to happen. And then after they were done, she was the one who, okay, get on out of here. We'll see you next time. So people would say, well, she didn't have sex with them. Well, some of them she did. But the ones that she didn't, people want to say, well, she didn't do anything to them. No, she trafficked them. That's the definition of trafficking, the things that she did. She used fraud. She used force. She used coercion. Right. And you can use force on somebody without putting your hands on them.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That psychological force is a real deal, and it's there. But in some parts of the world, what we discovered is that women trafficking women is the norm. See, in the United States, men trafficking women is the norm. In other countries, women trafficking women is the norm. That is the way it goes. And anything else would be unusual for them. The UN Office on Drugs and Crimes reported that sexual exploitation made up the most common form of trafficking, and expressed surprise that in 30% of the countries providing information about the gender of traffickers, women made up the largest proportion of offenders.
The largest proportion. That's surprising to me.
Because I'm sure the United States, see, they looked at other countries. So I'm sure in the United States, they aren't the largest.
Okay.
But when you add in globally, they become the largest. Wrap your head around that one.
I can't. I think that's, it's alarming to hear.
Yeah.
Especially all these facts, because you already come with your own preconceived notions about different things. But then when you come back with facts and statistics, because they've done studies on this, they've done all of that. So this is just surprising to me. I know that there are women that do traffic and do run, like you talked about, like some of the houses, where they have the prostitution rings. Mainly those are women, if I stop and think about it.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You talking about the residential brothels?
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of times in the residential brothels, though, what happens is you may have like a grandmother or a great-grandmother. She's gotten older, but her grandson or whatever is taking care of her. And eventually they just take over the house. She can stay in her room. Everything she's got to do is in her room. Even though the house is in her name, they just take over the house.
Okay.
So that's a lot of kind of what happens there. Yeah. But how can they keep in touch with us, Carla?
Oh, they keep in touch with us by going to our website, www.convergenceresource.org, or you can also email us at crccontactus@convergenceresource.org. And you can also, once you watch this video, you can like and subscribe. And if you leave a comment, we will reply.
Yes.
So we will react to it or reply to whatever that you say. And also, don't forget to, when you go to our website, to subscribe to our newsletter.
Yep.
And then one more thing, I'm always going to mention your radio show on Mondays, 12:30 p.m.
Thank you.
On Mondays. A variety of subjects. So I won't just say that it's the subjects that we're talking about, but it's a variety of different subjects on Joy 1340.
Yeah.
So this has been kind of interesting, talking about the female traffickers and talking about the statistics. Because every time we cover something, I learn new things as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the female traffickers is kind of one of those things where, because we just don't think like that. We just don't think like that, but it's a reality, and it really does happen. Yeah. So, well, folks, we want to just thank you so much for tuning in while we had just a little conversation.
The Convergence Resource Center provides comprehensive support services to women rebuilding their lives after trauma, with a focused emphasis on survivors of human trafficking and justice-involved women. Convergence Resource Center supports women on their journey of healing and restoration after trauma, with a special focus on survivors of human trafficking and women impacted by the justice system. For more information about the Convergence Resource Center and how you can get involved, visit us online at www.convergenceresource.org.